is Caffeine Coils, and I'm Deanna.
And I'm Jenny.
And we have a special guest today. Do you want to introduce yourself? Okay.
All right, Jay, tell us what you do. I know you work for Mingledorf, so tell us what you do for Mingledorf.
I'm the aftermarket manager, so parts and supplies and all the above. We have a team that's out trying to help our dealers keep up with all of the little small parts and pieces and offer them things and opportunities.
I feel like on the aftermarket side, we're all like jack of all trades and master of none. Like we kind of have to like cast such a wide net that it's like you got to know a little bit about a lot.
I agree. That's why we try to engage our vendors, and it's impossible. And we got thousands and thousands of SKUs we have to keep up with.
Yeah.
So it helps a lot to get our vendors involved and have them come out and ride along with us and make sure that we have experts. Because it's hard to be an expert on all of it.
Agreed. All right, so this topic kind of came about when he and I were talking about just like the state of the economy and all the things that have been fluctuating through the year with A2L changes and just everything that's going on. And we talked about why we need to cover repair versus replace. So that's today's hot topic. Should we be encouraging our customers to repair their unit, replace their unit? Why there's advantages and disadvantages to both. So, all right, I'll kick it off with my first question. So, what are the factors to determine or to consider when deciding the cost between repairing an HVAC unit versus replacing it entirely?
Well, I think in a normal environment or economy, it's a lot more clear. But right now, we always want you to replace. I mean, if it's a unit that's older, just like anything else, when it starts to get age on it, little things start to happen. And I think we've enjoyed several years of being able, to really make sure we're leading with the replacement. And I think that's what we always need to do. I mean, It's just the right thing to do for the consumer. But we're running into situations now where we're hearing, somebody didn't give them an option to repair, so they called someone else. And so I think, we get a unique perspective from the industry because we are parts and supplies, so we hear all the different angles. And I think that right now, if I were a dealer, I would try to give all of the above. I think that with it being election year, it always gets a little strained for some reason. And so I would try to offer multiple levels on the equipment and offer a repair if there's any way possible. If you just have no choice but to condemn the unit, I know that's hard because like I said, we come out of supply chain and there's been a lot of COVID. There was a lot of different things that have happened recently, but I think we need to make sure we're giving them all the options, because the last thing you want to do as a dealer is not give them that option and somebody come in behind you and give that option, because then it makes you look like you didn't try.
Yeah, I think we kind of covered some of this in our customer service episode where we talked about earning the customer's trust.
Right.
So, and that's a huge factor for our technicians to be aware of, because as soon as that customer doesn't trust you, they're going to say, he's kind of full of it. Like, I'm not sure if I want to invite him back to my house. So,
Well, I think the repair option as well is a good opportunity.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when you're repairing a unit, you're going to have to replace it at some point.
And you want them to call you
And
back.
that gives you an opportunity to earn a service contract maybe, and to build up to that replacement, and working the service on it, taking care of them. Then you have a relationship that's longer than just one
and
call
much
to
more
the house.
profitable too. Yeah.
That's right.
From the homeowner's perspective, how would I estimate the potential cost of a repair versus replacing a unit?
A lot of times you just have to ask. You have to ask the dealer generally will give you a bid of, hey, this thing's coils out, they don't make it anymore. There's a lot of reasons that they could have, that they could not want to give you a repair quote, but most of the time there's a way to fix it. And I think they just need to be offering everything right now, because everybody's personal economies different. I think all the tools our dealers have, financing and all of the above, I think they just need to kind of cast a wide net, to use your term earlier. I think they need to do that on every call because there's opportunity there, and it's the right thing to do. I mean, you kind of got to read the room of what's going on in the economy right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So my next question is, how does the age of the unit influence whether it should be repaired or replaced? But I also want to ask you, with the new refrigerants and things coming out, what would be your advice now? Would you go ahead and replace and try to get to that new refrigerant, or what does that look like?
I think it goes back to the consumer. I think they got to make that choice because, repair versus replace a lot of times is a massive difference in the cost.
Well, I mean, if you have a system that's still on 22 and it's leaking and you got to put more refrigerant in it, I mean, what is that going to cost versus just a whole change out?
Well, a lot of times that's the difference.
Yeah.
And that's what they have to condemn that unit. There's no way to do anything else. I mean, there are drop-ins and all that stuff for some of the 22 stuff, some of the older stuff, but
You're just limping it along for
You
the
are.
inevitable at that point. Yeah.
But again, if it's somebody that's really they're not doing well right now,
Yeah.
and you can limp it for them, again, I think it'll earn you that change out at some point. I think that's the way you do it. You get more touches, you get an opportunity to have a service contract, you can check on it every month,
Yeah.
and you have an opportunity to upgrade things. You can talk about air quality. There's a lot of advantages to have more touches with the homeowner, to build that trust. I mean, that's time builds trust too.
I think that trust is going to earn you some of that upsell stuff for your indoor air quality and those add-ons too. Maybe a media filter, different things like that aren't standard.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits.
Yeah, agreed.
What about in regard to efficiency? Like, how much more efficient are newer units versus older units?
There's an extreme advantage on the new ones, and earlier when I said make sure they give plenty of options. Make sure you're given a high efficiency option always, of course, because that's the right thing to do as well. But also give them the standard efficiency. I mean, I think that's what I'm seeing and hearing just from dealers and from customers, from people that I know personally, is they want options. They want a lot of options, and they'll turn around and search out another dealer if they don't get a feeling of they got all the options.
Yeah.
And
I think, comparing, okay, this is the cost of the standard efficiency versus the higher efficiency, and, just kind of breaking it down if they are going to finance it, like what is the payment difference? Because if it's not that much of a payment difference, then it makes more sense to go with a higher efficiency unit.
This is a perfect time to plug Propose and Close. It's like a software that basically gives them, it gives the technician everything they need to sell, all three of those options. So
Right.
if you're looking for a software like that, Propose and Close is a great tool, and our business development group can help you get set up with that.
Also plumbing, there's also opportunity if you're financing anyway, if your water heater's kind of getting old or dated, there's another opportunity there. And a lot of our customers, a lot of our dealers do that. They're diversifying as well because they see all this stuff. I mean, nothing I'm saying today they don't already know.
And there is nothing worse than a cold shower right before you start your work day. So if there's anything I'm not willing to put up with, it's a cold shower.
I don't know. I think some people do that willingly, so.
Yeah, there's cold plunge going on.
I do
People
cold
do
plunges.
Oh, you
She's a
do?
cold plunger, so
Yeah.
that's really funny.
That's your coffee.
Yeah.
All right, so what warning signs indicate that a repair might not be enough and a full replacement is necessary?
I mean, leaks.
Yeah.
Some of those things. Sometimes you have. I mean, it gets really technical. Sometimes you have a reversing valve that's made into the unit that wasn't made to be replaced.
Yeah, and I
on the
think it
heat
depends
pump.
on the age of the unit too, especially when it comes to refrigerants and leaks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So.
I think that's the main thing, and parts availability as well.
Yeah.
Since we've been into 10-year warranties, that's kind of not as bad as it used to be, but there are other options. And I think also if you do get into doing a lot more repairs, we have some tools. We have vendors that can come out I think just in the spirit of customer service, if you have something on your van that you can fix it while you're there, I think that goes a long way as well. And it's also more profitable for you as a dealer. You don't have to pay for a callback. You don't have
Yeah.
to wait on a part to come in stock.
Yeah.
And I would encourage our dealers to reach out to us and let's get some of our vendors out to train their technicians on, because a lot of times, back years ago, that was a big thing, was getting universal parts and having things that you could fix a lot of different units with.
Yeah.
And I think now like I said, over the last few years, we've kind of maybe moved away from that. And I think this year we're probably going to have to reach back down into that well a little bit and
It just
get
makes
back
you
at that.
more lean, and
Yeah.
that's important when you're in this. Yeah.
Especially when it's hot. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't want to, as a homeowner myself, I don't want to wait.
I don't want to wait for you to go to the supply house to get it.
Yeah, or
I want you to pull it off your truck.
or worse, have to order it,
Oh my
and
gosh.
there's still some supply chain issues on certain things out there, and so I think that it would serve everybody well to learn that stuff very, very well, very good, and be able to fix it on the first call.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree with that.
You also mentioned warranties, and I think that's another point for replacement because that's a selling point to the customer
That's right.
that this item's not going to be warranted for 10 years or however long. So, that's another point to make.
Peace of mind.
Yeah,
Good
exactly.
Peace of mind. And I know that we talk about. I talked to a rental property management company the other day, and they were telling me that they have renters now. Like the younger folks out here are really energy conscious, and that some of their tenants will actually pay for the upgrade of a thermostat, even though they're renting. I mean, they know that they're going to at some point move out of that house, but they feel like they're helping with energy conservation if they get a more efficient thermostat.
I know there's been a lot of debates about the whole thermostat and like if you're gone, let it get hotter and all this stuff. I installed two Ecobee thermostats on I have a zone system, so I have upstairs and downstairs, but I have noticed an insane amount of savings. And I drive an electric car, so you would think that, like, not to get all politically motivated or whatever, but you would think that I would have seen an uptick, and I feel like my energy bills are lower this summer than they were last summer.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, and I was surprised to see it because I think I was kind of like on the fence of whether, like, they talk about the stuff in your house getting hotter and it takes more energy to cool it back off, and I'm not convinced that's true.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't have any scientific data to back it up or anything, but I'm still on the fence of which one's better, which camp is actually energy saving.
In your situation, the thermostat's doing all the work for you.
Yes, yeah, because it's so nice to just set it and forget it, and like it's on a schedule, and when my son's not home, it doesn't run upstairs if we're not up there. It's all like motion sensed and everything, so it's super nice to be able to only have to heat half the house,
Yeah,
really.
automated. That's
Yeah, and
great.
it's very automated, and I love it, so.
Okay, but speaking of that, I want to know what you guys have your thermostats set to. Like when
Oh,
you're home,
you're so going to judge me for this.
I am.
Okay, so I have mine set to a schedule. So, like I said, if I'm not home, it's on like the Eco Plus or whatever. I can't remember the
Yeah.
name of this setting for that, but so it gets hotter, so it'll go up to like 78, I think. But on a normal basis during the day, it's at 74.
No wonder you don't like working from home. She's sweating in there.
Yeah.
At night, though, it's on 71 because I get hot at night. So, and I need to be covered up at night. What is yours on? Okay, wait.
68.
You keep yours on. Oh my gosh, I would freeze to death.
I'll
Yeah.
let it get up to 70 during the day because I'll run like a fan in my office or my living room or wherever I am. But at night, it has to be 68.
I'm the same as you. Mine's 67 at night.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
y'all. I have I use like a thinner blanket. And, I'm a millennial, so I don't use a top sheet either. Like, apparently that's
my
a thing.
I can't
never
believe
knew
that.
was a thing.
It's
until
apparently a
very
thing for
recently.
millennials to not use a top sheet.
I
So
use a top
don't
sheet.
use a
I
top
can't.
sheet.
I can't
But-
do it without a top sheet. I gotta sleep with a sheet.
But I just have like the thinnest little cotton blanket on for summer because it gets hot. But I am not. And every time my husband comes in, it's like, it's hot in here. I'm like, welcome to summer. It's my favorite season. Like,
Well, Poor him.
So, yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
don't touch that thermostat. You don't pay the electric bill. I do. Don't touch that thermostat.
I mean, I'd rather pay a little extra on my, because it's not even that much. It doesn't make that huge of a difference. Like a 5-degree difference doesn't really make that much of a difference on your bill. So
Yeah.
I feel like it makes a huge difference. Probably because I live in a neighborhood where there's like not a single tree.
yeah, I mean,
ever.
we do have a lot of trees around our house actually,
I do
but
too.
also I'm only heating or cooling one level.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have like
we
the
have a
split
lot
level
of,
thing that you do. So
I think that increase of square footage when we moved the last time, it's like,
yeah.
like, oh man, the power bill. So that's why I'm a little more conscious of it. I think I was less conscious of it at the old house, but again, there was no trees to give us shade either there. So
Maybe in the winter I'm seeing more savings because I keep it the same temperature. I don't turn the heat on that much. So
oh no,
I'll let it get down to 65 at night.
Yeah, I do the same. Well,
no.
there's a lot.
My
There's a
husband
lot of
complains.
there's a lot of legit data that tells you need to be sleeping below 60.
Yeah.
Like,
Below 68? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to look into that.
supposed to help the quality of sleep.
I actually want to get one of those things that you put on your bed to cool it because my husband, he's at his limit with how cold I have it at night. He even has an extra blanket on his side, but I'm like, I need more cooling because I get so hot at night.
Wait,
Okay, this goes back to our conversation that we've adapted to air conditioning. I feel
Uh-huh.
like as a welder, he probably works and like
He
he's
does.
hotter
Yeah.
all day. So he's like, my dad was the same way. He worked in a machine shop, owned a machine shop, was a welder, all that stuff.
Mhm.
He would come home in the summer. My mom would have it on 72, and he'd be like, 78. You're like, it's cold in here. So like you kind of adapt to like whatever temperature you're in the most.
Yeah.
So
my wife's from a tropical country, so you can
Oh.
imagine.
Yeah.
I'm hot-natured and she's cold-natured, so
I feel like those people always marry each other. You never marry them. The thermostat match up with your.
yeah.
It's actually kind of funny because once I started cold plunging, I kind of became more hot natured. And my husband's like, it's so crazy how much you've changed because you used to be cold all the time. And I'm like, yeah, now I'm just always hot. Even after I get out of it, I'll bundle up, because you think that's what you want to do afterwards. But I'll actually get hot and I'll take the socks off or whatever.
How long you been doing it?
I've been doing it for about a year.
Can you tell the difference as far as like to start your day where your endorphins going?
Yeah, I
Is that-
actually like doing it in the evening instead because it helps me sleep better.
Oh, okay.
So it helps me sleep through the night a lot better when I cold plunge. I only do it about two times a week, but it's definitely a lot better for recovery for working out and things like that.
Yeah,
So
that's very interesting.
mhm.
Yeah, I can't get there.
Yeah, I can't get there either. I want the top layer of my skin to be burned off in the shower. So cold plunging sounds terrible.
I think it's great.
All right. Well, I think that's all the questions that I have. What about you, Dee? Anything else?
My last question was just, how do I find a qualified and reputable HVAC technician? Someone I can trust to tell me whether I should maybe repair or replace something.
Well, I think there's a lot of data out there on reviews. Of course, you've got access, obviously, to some of the
Yeah.
greatest dealers there are that we have here. But I think the data out there, the review data out there is pretty strong. I mean, we got years of it now. I think that'll tell the story.
Yeah, I think Google reviews is probably
Google reviews and
best.
word of mouth. I feel like I know a lot of people, we have like a neighborhood Facebook page, and there's always a lot of good references there.
Yeah.
If
When you see somebody
could reach
getting
out.
recommended over and over again.
Yeah. That's become my thing. I feel like while reviews are great, I also think that some, we know that some of those are
Yeah.
skewed a little bit sometimes. So,
Well, the recommendation's huge
yeah.
because it's coming from another individual
Yeah.
as well.
All right. Do you have anything that you wanted to cover with us?
No, I mean, I think that's about it. I think we covered it pretty well.
Okay.
All right. Well, at the end of each episode, we play a little game. So,
And
What are we playing
as you
today?
should know.
yeah, as you
I
should
do.
know, as
I
a
do.
loyal
I do.
Caffeine Coils listener.
I just don't know which version's coming or what it
Okay,
is.
I always like to tease our Mingledorff's guest because everyone should be listening. But okay, so I have some would you rather questions. Would you rather win a lifetime supply of pizza or never have to sweat again?
I'll go with a pizza. I like to sweat.
Okay. What about you?
I don't like pizza. So, but I kind of do like to sweat. I mean, summer is my favorite season, so it's all about sweating.
I'll take the pizza.
I don't like either of those options.
Would you rather fix a noisy air conditioner on a sweltering summer day or a clogged drain during a freezing winter night?
Air conditioner all day.
All day. I can't stand a clogged drain.
Would you rather be able to teleport yourself anywhere in the world instantly or have the ability to control the weather with your mind?
Teleport.
I think teleporting would be really cool.
Oh, that's tough.
No, you just think it's summer all the time.
Yeah, I would, because that's when we make our money, homie. Like,
I know.
Yeah, it's the most
I love
lucrative
mild
season
weather,
we
and I'm
have.
like, I don't work in a good place to love mild weather.
I love when people complain. Well, I'm like, oh, it's so hot out here, and I'm like, feels like money to me. Like,
I'm coming off a couple bad flight experiences. So teleporting's very
Yeah.
attractive right now.
to never have to fly again,
Yeah.
never stand in those Atlanta security lines again.
That's huge.
That is tempting. That is tempting.
All right. Would you rather have a house with perfect air quality but extremely loud ventilation ducts or slightly stuffy air but whisper quiet ventilation?
I think I'll take the noise. I'll get used to it.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Noise bothers me so much. I don't know if I could handle that.
I can't do stuffy.
Would you rather live in a house that constantly smells like fresh baked cookies or one that always maintains a perfectly comfortable temperature?
Temperature.
Yeah, temperature for me too.
Because
Cookies is just gonna make me hungry.
if it smells like cookies, I'm gonna be like, let me go get some cookies. Like,
Would you rather learn about HVAC repair through trial and error with no serious consequences or spend a month studying textbooks and manuals?
The first.
I'm a trial and error person. I bet you're a studier.
I
Based on
am.
our
I am
prior
a studier.
conversation.
Like, I can't. I want to know. I don't know. I just want to know. I want to know all the things. That's why I'm going back to school again.
Would you rather have a self-cleaning air filter that needs replacing monthly or a basic filter that lasts a year but requires messy cleaning?
Oh, that one's so hard.
Yeah, that's double. I would go with the first one.
I think I would too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have to
I
make a
couldn't leave
mess.
it for a year and not think about it.
Yeah. No. Well, then I'd never think about it. Like, never
It's
think
built
about
into
it.
me like a clock. I can't help it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
And my fancy thermostat gives me a notification once a month or once a quarter or whatever it is to change it.
All right, my last one is, would you rather have a pet polar bear who needs constant air conditioning or a pet fire-breathing dragon who requires a constantly heated enclosure?
I think I had to go with a dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, polar bears are very well known for eating people. I'm not sure about dragons.
I don't know. Watching Game of Thrones, I don't know if they have a very good reputation either.
I feel like I want the polar bear because I feel like you could just put it in like a walk-in cooler and leave it be. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, here you go. Like, drop some food in the top every now and then. Like,
And they're cute. I am the polar bear, so
cold plunging.
I already
polar
have
bear.
it.
I saw a video of some fishermen that got stranded on a piece of ice. Brutal. And there's, it may not have been a video, it may have just been a story, but there was a polar bear that was going from ice. They were cutting, they were like,
Trying to
he's
get it.
coming.
Oh
We
my
have no
gosh.
gun. And he's going to eat at least one person. And that's what happened.
Well,
He
that's
ate
very
someone?
dark.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't normally go that,
But
that dark.
but
on
that's
Caffeine
what I'm
Coils.
saying though. The polar bear may figure out how to get out of that enclosure and eat.
I
you.
mean, okay, okay, that's fair.
They're pretty resourceful.
But it's a fire-breathing dragon. Like, they don't even have to get out to spit fire at you and burn you up.
Good.
All right, that's all I have. So thank you for coming today.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you
thanks
for
for having
joining
me.
us.
I appreciate you having me.
And thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.